Hey besties, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are doing my January reading wrap up. It's the first wrap up of the year, guys. Woohoo! I can't believe it's already like February. Literally today's the last day of January, so it's so weird. I read, how many books did I read? I read 9 books this month, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first book I read was Promise Me Not by Megan Brandy. I rated it a 4.25 star. It was a little slow at the beginning, and like most of the time I was just wishing that I was reading Say You Swear Again. Like it made me want to reread that. I was also getting mad at one of the characters. If you've read them both, you probably know which character he's a part of the friend group. Hated him throughout it a little bit. And then also I was just getting frustrated with Peyton, but like that's a different story. It's like, anyways, this is about Peyton and Mason, and basically Peyton lost her baby daddy, and Mason is just in love with Peyton, and you basically go from past to present timeline, and in the past timeline you kind of see what happened to her baby daddy and stuff, how her and Mason kind of like got together, and then in present timeline you see her healing from what happened, and then also see like Mason try to love her but from a distance because he knows that she needs time. So it was really cute, but I definitely would say Say You Swear is a little better. Yeah, like I said, it was just really slow at the beginning. It was very repetitive, if I'm being honest. And that's my job, to be honest to you guys, so. Alright, next is How to End a Love Story. I rated this a 4. I listened to it on audio format. Not that that matters, I just thought I'd let you guys know. I felt like halfway through I was getting kind of annoyed because they just kept sleeping with each other, because they were doing like a friends with benefits type of thing, and it was just like too much. And also like her parents were annoying as fuck, and Helen was annoying me a little bit because she kept blaming Grant for what happened even though it wasn't really his fault. Like, I mean, no, it wasn't his fault. Like, what happened wasn't his fault. Like, and she's just like constantly hating on him for what happened, and it's like, it's not really his fault. Like, I understand, but I don't, because it's like, use your brain. This is about Helen and Grant, and they've known each other since they were in high school, I think. And basically her sister, like you see this in the first chapter, when they were in high school, Helen's sister jumped in front of Grant's car while he was driving and she died, and he blames himself for that every single day since. Helen hates Grant because of what happened, and then you kind of skip to their present day where she's a writer, and she's kind of like she has writer's block right now, so she's just creating a show for one of the books that she wrote, and Grant is one of the writers for the show, and then they kind of have to come to terms with what happened. Next, I read Twisted Obsession by S. Mastery. I finally finished this series. Not saying like finally as like, oh my god, like I needed this to be done, but like it's nice to complete a series finally. Ow. Okay. I rated this a 4 star, and I felt like the end. English is not my first language. Okay. I felt like the ending was a little rushed. I also did not expect the plot twist to twist like that, okay? Like, I was not expecting what happened. And also, the author suggests reading a prequel on, like, her website, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I recommend reading Jacob and Melody's prequel story first, which you can find here, and whatever. Okay, so I did not read the prequel because I was reading it on my Kindle and I started it like at work. So I was just like, I didn't have Wi-Fi on my Kindle, obviously, so I just didn't care and whatever. So that made me a little bit confused at the beginning, but I also feel like now I still haven't read the prequel, so I don't know what's in it or not, but I feel like because I didn't read the prequel, I kind of was in the same boat as Melody, um, because she has amnesia. So as she's figuring things out, I felt like I was figuring things out, so I felt like I was kind of like in her head, and I was just like, wait, what? And I almost felt like that was better. I don't know. This is about Melody and Jacob, and basically Melody woke up in the hospital one day after an accident happened, and now she has amnesia and she can't remember anything, and she has to try to figure out what she likes and all that stuff, and figure out like just basically who she is as a person. She gets taken in by the only relative that's in town, and like one day he just takes her to the hockey game to see like if she'll like it or whatever, and here comes Jacob. He recognizes Melody immediately because he's been obsessed with her forever, hence why it's twisted obsession. Okay. Anyways, so he's been obsessed with her forever, and he basically just calls out her name, and she's just like, do I know you? And he's like, what? Like, anyways, so then he's trying to help her figure out everything, but also like not, because he doesn't want her to know certain things, but then she ends up finding out, obviously. But next is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Now it's a 5-star, and it will always be a 5-star. Okay, I tabbed it this time. Look how many tabs. I honestly don't know why so many people hate on this, because I ate it up. It was my first time rereading it though, so it's only my second time reading it in total, but I will always love it. I will always love it. The ending was not okay though. Like literally the last like 50-ish pages, there's so many things that hit you, and it's just like, huh? I don't know how much I can take. Like what? I'm gonna try to find a quote. Oh, okay. Wait, I'm sorry if you expect me to do the noble thing. I warned you, I'm not sweet or soft or kind, and you fell anyways. This is what you get, Violet. Me. The good, the bad, the unforgivable, all of it. I'm yours. You want to know something true, something real? I love you. I'm in love with you. I have been since the night the snow fell in your hair and you kissed me for the first time. I'm grateful my life is tied to yours because it means I won't have to face a day without you in it. My heart only beats as long as yours does, and when you die, I'll meet Malik at your side. It's a damn good thing that you love me too, because you're stuck with me in this life and every other that could possibly follow. This man. Oh my god. Anyways. 5-star. I'm not going to say too much about it, but basically this follows Violet's second year in the war college that she attends, and shit happens, okay? I'm basically going to just explain Fourth Wing, which is the first book in this series, and basically Fourth Wing is following Violet in her first year at this war college, and basically she's trying to figure out who she should trust, who she shouldn't. She basically wanted to go to the Scribe Quadrant because that's where her dad was, which is basically like a librarian. Okay, they take care of books and the archives and all that shit. But her mother is the general of the Writer's Quadrant, and she's like, no child of mine is going to be a scribe. So she forces Violet to go into the Writer's Quadrant, and then her sister Mira is like, stay away from Xaden because Xaden will kill you when he finds out who you are because of our mother. And so now she has to try to stay away from Xaden, but you know, anyways, so that's the first book, and then now you get into this one, and it's her second year. Alright, next is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I rated it a 4. I read this in my 24-hour reading vlog, so if you guys saw that, then you kind of already know what I rated it. I was a little lost at the beginning, but like I explained in my 24-hour reading challenge, I was constantly distracted by my niece and whatever, so I couldn't like lock in and focus. So that's my own fault. But there was a lot of world building too. So maybe that's a thing too. I don't know. But once I got into it, it was so fast paced and I just wanted to keep reading it. So that's why I rated it a 4. This is about Alina, and she basically sees her friend Mal get attacked in the fold, and she basically saves him by using a power that she didn't know she had. And like the Darkling comes and sees that and then takes her away because now everyone wants to kill her. And the reason why everyone wants to kill her is because the power that she holds is such a rare power, and they just want to take advantage of that and manipulate her. And basically that power is the only thing that can save the country from the fold. And then basically the Darkling just takes Alina to this place so then she can learn how to use her power and all that good stuff. And so you basically follow Alina trying to figure out what the fuck's going on and trying to save her country. Next, I read a book on my Kindle that I don't physically own. I'll put it right here. It was also in the 24-hour reading challenge. I read Alpha Villain by Liliana Carlisle. I rated it a 3 because it was like literally, it was so quick that like you don't get emotionally attached to the characters or anything. And I knew this going into it too because like I read the first 2 books in that series last year. And yeah, it's really fast paced. It's a vibe, you know, like the vibes were there. Another reason why I didn't rate it so highly is because these books, like in the series, I think it's only 3. There's an Omega-verse situation, and I am not that type of person. And you're probably like, then why did you read all 3 books? That's because I knew that it was just gonna be like a vibe and whatever. I needed something like that to get me through this challenge. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, this is about Lilith, and she ran away from her father because of who he is, and now she's just like in hiding. And then basically here comes Noah, who wants to seek out revenge on her father. The only logical way he thinks is to kill her. I don't know. So basically everyone is like, we've been trying to find her and like we can't find her, and he's like, bet I'm gonna find her. He finds her, wants to kill her, and then the first time he sees her is like, actually not gonna kill her. It's a dark romance too, guys. If you couldn't tell by the fact that he wants to kill her and then doesn't. Next was Red, White, and Royal Blue. I rated this a 4 stars. I also read this on audio. I listened to it on audio format because I kind of figured that that was the only way that I would really get into this book. I watched the movie and it was pretty good, but I watched it so long ago. But anyways, the reason why I feel like I wouldn't have gotten into it is because like the chapters are just very long. Like I remember listening to the audiobook and one chapter was like an hour long, and I was like, how the hell? The audiobook was also just not amazing either. I don't know, because there was only one voice actor playing the 2 parts, which you're probably like, that happens a lot. Yes, but usually the stories are male and female. This is a male, and so it's kind of like confusing. This is about Alex and Henry, and Alex is the president's son, and Henry is a prince of England. Basically, they've hated each other since they've met, and one day there's like the royal wedding or something, and they get into an argument, and one thing leads to another. They're on the floor and there's cake on them, and a picture gets taken, is all over the news, and then Alex's mom is like, this can't do because re-elections are about to come, and we can't have a scandal because I need to be re-elected. And so now you guys have to fake being friends. Okay? So now they're kind of fake friends. And then they end up hooking up, you know. And Alex figures out that he's actually bisexual because he always thought that he only liked girls. And then he figures out that he's bisexual. Next is another dark romance. God of Malice by Rena Kent. I rated this 4.5 stars. It was really good. You literally get right into it in the first chapter. You're like, okay. Yep. Okay. This is dark. Okay? Dark. Check your trigger warnings, please, because this is dark. Okay? There are a lot of characters that are introduced like right at the beginning, because like obviously this is a 6-book series, so you're kind of like getting introduced to a lot of characters, and you're kind of just like, okay, who's that? Okay, what? But you like, it starts to pick up. I wasn't really expecting there to be like a mystery aspect, I guess. Like I don't know. Like the things like were happening throughout the book, and then at the end it was kind of like there was like a plot twist that was thrown at you, and I was just like, I didn't even know we had to figure this out. I didn't know that this was a thing that we needed to know. Like, what? So I wasn't expecting that. Anyways, this is about Glyndon and Killian, and they go to rival schools, so basically they're enemies, you know? And in the first chapter, Killian basically finds Glyndon on the edge of a cliff, because that's where her best friend died, and she's grieving and whatever. And he's just like, oh, she wants to die. And so he's like, if I push you, can I take a picture so then I could capture a masterpiece? And she's just like, no, what? And then he's like, okay, then you have to do something else. And then ever since that, he's been obsessed with her, and she's like trying to get away, and he's just like, you're mine, like you're stuck, I don't know. And then the last book I read, ugh, I am emotionally destroyed. I hope you guys know. The last book I read this month, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is in the Empyrean series. It's with Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. Oh my god, guys. I just finished this yesterday. Okay? To say that I'm heartbroken is an understatement, okay? I am not okay. I am not okay. I didn't even want to go to work yesterday because I was just like so heartbroken, and I was just in a mood the entire day. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it, okay? A lot happens throughout the entire book. You are never bored, I promise you, okay? You're never bored in this book. You're always on the edge of your seat, and you're just like, Did I say I rated this a 5-star? I rated it a 5-star. It's actually like a 10 million star. Because, what? And after all the sobbing and, you know, the sorrow, there comes emptiness. And you're just lost. That's how I feel after completing this book. Now, don't let that be like a reason why you're not gonna read it, because you need to read it. You actually need to. Oh my god. My friend and I finished it yesterday, and we're like just sending each other TikToks back and forth, and like, I'm gonna cry. Anyways, I'm not going to say too much about it, but this still follows Violet, and you're still in her second year of college. It's just like the second half, I think. And you're basically just following what happened at the end of the last book, like Iron Flame. Iron Flame obviously ended on a cliffhanger, and you're basically just picking it up right where it left off. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But I think this low-key put me into a little slump because I was gonna pick up another book last night and decided not to because I was just like, I need a break. I had 2 more books that were on my TBR and I didn't finish them, and that's basically Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter and Wisteria by Adeline Grace. I'm just adding it to my February TBR, so don't fret. They will get read eventually. 9 books this month is not bad at all. Not at all. I would try to find a quote in Onyx Storm that I would love to read for you, but I didn't tab it. Let's actually, I'll Google quotes. I am yours and you are mine, and there's no law or rule in this world or the next that will change that. Yep. So these are all the books that I read this month. I hope you enjoyed me ranting about all these books. I hope you got some recs from them, and let me know what you read in January. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.